Behind the gilded gates of Windsor Castle, where the ancient stones whisper of centuries of triumphs and tensions, a new drama unfolded, subtle to the untrained eye, but unmistakable to those who follow the monarchy with an obsessive precision. What began as a routine state visit, meticulously choreographed down to the last military salute and polished crystal glass, became instead the backdrop for an unspoken clash between two of the most important women in the royal hierarchy, Queen Camilla and Catherine, the Princess of Wales. What transpired during these pivotal hours not only set tongues wagging among royal watchers, but also ignited a debate about influence, power, and the shifting balance within the House of Windsor itself. It was September 17th, a day already saturated with diplomatic symbolism. Windsor Castle, a fortress of monarchy for nearly 1,000 years, gleamed in the autumn light. Red carpets stretched like arteries across the ancient cobblestones, soldiers in scarlet uniforms stood in immaculate formation, and the Union Jack fluttered beside the stars and stripes as the United Kingdom welcomed President Donald Trump and First Lady Melania Trump. The visit was meant to underscore the special relationship between the two nations, but what played out between the royals themselves told a different story. The first to step forward were the Prince and Princess of Wales. William and Catherine greeted the American delegation with flawless poise, Catherine resplendent in her chosen attire, every gesture radiating the confidence of a future queen consort. She smiled warmly, spoke with effortless grace, and instantly commanded attention from the assembled dignitaries and the watching cameras. It was a scene that reinforced her rising star status within the monarchy, positioning her as the face of continuity and modern elegance. Yet, as the ceremonial procession unfolded, something shifted. When the moment arrived to escort Melania Trump across the grounds, it was not Catherine who stepped forward. Instead, Queen Camilla took charge. Observers noted how Camilla guided the First Lady with deliberate authority, her hand lightly touching Melania's arm, her posture firm, her voice audible in the hushed air. Catherine, usually at the forefront of such interactions, was left momentarily sidelined, her presence eclipsed. To casual viewers, it may have seemed inconsequential. But to those attuned to the nuance of royal protocol, it was a glaring statement. Royal insiders later remarked that the tension was impossible to ignore. Every movement seemed calculated, every glance loaded. Catherine, whose natural charisma tends to dominate any room, found herself in the uncomfortable position of being quietly maneuvered aside. And for Camilla, who fought for decades to secure her place within the monarchy, and now wears the crown beside Charles, it was a moment to assert dominance, to remind all present that she is queen consort, not a supporting act. One source, speaking candidly to journalists, described the encounter as a power play. Kate drew the attention, and that didn't go down well with Camilla. From the moment she arrived, Kate proved herself to be the real power player. Camilla's move was not accidental. It was deliberate. Such remarks only fanned the flames of speculation. Was this the resurfacing of long-rumored tension between the two women, or simply the inevitable clash between the monarchy's present and its future? If Camilla's subtle maneuver was meant to diminish Catherine, the princess had her own silent response waiting, and it came later that evening during the glittering state banquet. The banquet itself was a spectacle of imperial grandeur. St. George's Hall shimmered under chandeliers heavy with light. Tables stretched like rivers of gold, covered in pristine white linen, adorned with candelabras, silverware polished until it gleamed like mirrors, and floral arrangements bursting with late summer roses and lilies. The air smelled faintly of wax and fresh flowers, a scent as carefully curated as the guest list. Every detail was designed to impress, to convey stability and power through centuries-old tradition. It was in this setting that Catherine entered, not just as a royal consort, but as a vision of regality. She wore a resplendent gown that caught the light with every movement, its fabric shimmering like liquid gold. Her silhouette was elegant yet commanding, a reminder of her mastery of royal dressing, where every outfit is both fashion and message. And atop her head gleamed the iconic lover's knot tiara, once favored by Princess Diana. The diamonds and pearls sparkled like fragments of history themselves, a tangible link between the monarchy's past and its future. President Trump, seated near Catherine, was visibly captivated. His gaze lingered, his words effusive. Reports later confirmed that he described the princess as radiant, a remark that quickly became headline fodder across tabloids worldwide. The moment reinforced Catherine's extraordinary ability to command attention on the international stage, her quiet poise contrasting sharply with Trump's more brash style. But perhaps the most striking observation came not from reporters, but from a body language expert who later analyzed the evening. According to this specialist, Catherine's composure was so powerful that it caused the famously dominant president to temper his behavior, even appearing momentarily subdued. At one point, Trump reportedly made what was described as a childish or impish comment, only for Catherine to respond with a calm, steady gaze, a look that silenced the exchange and underscored her authority. It was, in the expert's words, the princess showing who truly holds the power. This quiet reclaiming of the spotlight was not lost on those who had witnessed the early attention. Where Camilla's maneuver had pushed her aside, Catherine's effortless magnetism during the banquet placed her firmly back at the center of attention. It was an unspoken reminder that real influence does not always come from holding the crown. Sometimes it comes from capturing the public's heart, from embodying dignity and grace so fully that others cannot look away. Behind palace walls, whispers multiplied. Some courtiers admired Catherine's ability to turn what could have been a humiliating moment into a triumph. Others noted with caution that such visible contrasts between queen consort and future queen could sow division within the monarchy's fragile public image. But one sentiment seemed to prevail. Catherine had shown her strength, and it would not be easily forgotten. The press, too, was quick to highlight the dynamic. Photos of Camilla escorting Melania side by side with images of Trump's admiration for Catherine were juxtaposed in coverage, fueling speculation of rivalry. Commentators described the banquet as Catherine's coronation in waiting, a moment where she demonstrated the quiet resilience and magnetism that would one day define her reign. For Camilla, meanwhile, the coverage was less flattering, a reminder that her position, though constitutionally secure, might always be shadowed by Catherine's overwhelming popularity. In the grand game of monarchy, such moments matter. Every gesture, every smile, every seating arrangement is scrutinized, dissected, and remembered. And while no harsh words were exchanged, the silent ballet of Windsor spoke volumes. For Queen Camilla, the challenge is to maintain authority as consort to a king whose reign has already faced immense scrutiny. For Princess Catherine, the task is to prepare for her future role, navigating the delicate balance between deference and destiny. And for the watching world, these subtle clashes provide endless fascination, reminders that even in the most gilded halls, power is never static. It shifts, it pulses, it reveals itself in glances and gestures, in who steps forward and who is left to the side. As the evening drew to a close, Windsor Castle stood illuminated against the night sky, a fortress of tradition hiding its newest whispers. For those present, one truth was clear. Catherine had reminded everyone, without a word, that she is not merely the princess of today, but the queen of tomorrow.